Hey guys, so we've just finished a few days approaching with James Bond from Germany. We're in Sweden, so we deliberately decided to do the training outside of Germany. A few reasons for that. First of all, it's good for you to, I think, improve your English, because if you do travel in future with day game, obviously, unless it's Austria, it's not going to be German. And also because Germany is not the easiest place to learn this. People can be quite serious.
Of course,
But maybe just be honest. How did you find the experience of the last few days? What did you expect, and did it match up? Was it different? Speak from the heart, really.
I mean, my goal for the bootcamp was only conquering this approach anxiety and spotlight effect.
Those were the main ones.
Because
you were very scared of the idea.
Really scared.
Of people understanding what you were doing.
But most of them I crashed on the first day, and I learned so much more. It's just like I learned how to stop a woman, even if she's in a really hurry. I learned it's not really important what you say. It's more important how you say something. You have a good vibe, and it's unbelievable how much I gained in this bootcamp.
You did really
and it was really worth the time and the money. It was really worth it.
Before you came, to give guys some context, before you came, it was you did one approach and you got one instant date. Which,
luckily,
to be fair, is a pretty good ratio. And I was like, we were joking. You should probably up your proverbial condoms now when you 100% record.
One of the things that you were kind of really wanted to work on was the whole rejection thing, because it was almost like you were taking it quite personally initially, but you understand that is very much like a numbers game doing this.
Numbers and also just getting better, like that 1% Kaizen, 1% improvement, thinking, right, what did I do well, what could I do better, and that ability to self-analyze is also key, but you do need that kind of external help as well.
In day game, you got still so many rejections, but it's way better than using social media or apps to get to know girls, It's way better.
You were coming from a position of basically just only using social media.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say, as long as you're okay with, getting rejected a lot, then day game is by far the best option, because you've just got an abundance of potentially really hot girls that you can just approach. Whereas you don't really have that in say like your social circles. And on Tinder, it's very much a case of shooting at your. Well, usually it's about getting a girl that's less attractive than you are. Whereas in day game, it's more about shooting a little bit above what your own attractiveness. And that's the beauty of this, and that's why it's that's why it's worth it essentially.
You had some fantastic conversations. You've got some numbers. You've had conversations with girls where I think before you did this, you were just like, "There's no way she's going to want to speak to me." And I think you become a lot more playful as well. We always go through the stage of like first step is just stopping the girls. Then it's like make the conversation longer, and then it's start having a bit of fun with it and being playful. And you've been coming out of a few conversations where you'll be pretending to look serious, but really we can see inside you're smiling because you're like, I actually had a really good conversation. Brian had it as well. A really good conversation with a hot girl.
That's really awesome.
It's just a cool vibe, man.
Because I remember initially your body language needed a lot of work. Your non-verbal communication needed a lot of work. It was quite negative, but you kind of transformed in terms of you're now able just to kind of be you've internalized that positivity which you need to radiate in the conversation, and then the girl is gonna mirror your vibe. She, if you radiate positive emotion, she's gonna reflect that, and the whole interaction just ends up being so much better as a result. She's just going to be far more engaged on an emotional level. That's what you want to aim for. But you did really well in that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Good attitude as well. It's always ups and downs at the beginning, and sometimes, we are a bit negative, and sometimes you ride that wave of positivity. But you've really just kept going. However you feel doesn't mean that's your emotions don't reflect who you actually are. They're just temporary feelings, right? So what you did well is you just kept going and going and going and going.
And it's let's say you have a few harsh, or not harsh, but you have a bunch of rejections in a row, you know that the next good one's just around the corner. You know it's just temporary, and that's the beauty of this. It's not like it's a reflection on you as a personal. It's just, in a lot of cases, just the circumstances that you can't change, and you know that you have the power to have that amazing interactions later on, and you did. It shows.
Yeah,
you did.
And how do we keep this? Did you like this one?
Which one?
This is one the other way. Fuck, it doesn't matter. We'll do the next one. How are we going to keep this going when you go back to Germany? Because one of the biggest fears I have with a lot of guys, they'll come and do really well on a boot camp.
Yeah.
But then when they go back to their home country, it all feels like a bit of a dream after a few days, and it's all about instilling this change of habits, right?
Because you don't have any coach then who says approach this.
Well, you've got the accountability from us on WhatsApp. We always stay in touch with students afterwards. 1-2 years later, keep kicking me up the ass, going, "Hey, have you done your approaches this week?" But you're right. You don't have someone directly with you to push you.
Sure, I'm going to be nervous in Germany. It's normal because I'm still a beginner, Yeah. But I have to remind myself of what I've done here in bootcamp. In this bootcamp, I've done some really, really hard sets, really hard sets. And
with conversations with
I'm still alive. I'm very fine.
Breathing.
I got some numbers. I've
potentially got a date lined up for later. We'll see what we can do. And
so it was totally worth it.
Massive strides over a few days. The key now is go back to Germany and really just keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Even if it means you start next week and you only do 10 or 15 approaches in total throughout the week, maybe 2 or 3 a day. And then you do that for 3 weeks just to maintain that habit. Then it starts becoming something that you are, not something you do, something that you are. This deep identity change of you being the extroverted version of James Bond.
Just remember, to take those baby steps at the beginning, because when you're by yourself, it just feels different. I mean, you know that day you had when you were in a bit of a bad mood when you're by yourself. Remember, you just take those baby steps initially because it's hard to kind of throw yourself in and just be like, putting that pressure on yourself. I must have an approach and that kind of thing. It's better just to kind of dial it down. It might just be the first thing you do is ask for directions. And the next thing you do is ask for directions, ask a question. And the next thing you do is just add little bits of complexity to what you're doing, and then eventually you're having approaches without even realizing, and you just stop giving a fuck, and you're there, you're present, and you're radiating the positive emotions.
Makes sense.
Cool. Any final thoughts? No?
Not really. I'm really fucking happy that I did this bootcamp,
Good, man. What would
it was the right decision for me.
What would you say to guys who have maybe watched some stuff on YouTube and they're kind of thinking, do I do the training or not? What would be your advice?
I mean, watching this stuff is very good at the beginning to get just
an realise it's possible.
An overview, but you have to do it. You have to be in that environment. You have to be rejected a few times, and it's totally worth the time and the money, because I mean, if I can this, and you can do this too.
Yes, exactly.
It's really. I think everyone can do this.
There's so many people who sort of think that, oh no, I'm not good looking enough, or oh no, I don't, I'm not like this, or I'm not like James Tusk. It's just the fact is that everybody can do it.
Looks don't matter really.
They really don't, man. And as you've seen me have conversations, and the girl just goes, whatever. It doesn't mean just because you're good looking. It means some girls will look at you more, but you still have to know what you're doing in the approach. And looks will only get you so far,
It's part of the game, It's maybe a little advantage if you have good looks, okay?
Yeah, I mean, if you're like a 4 out of 10 guy, you are going to realistically struggle with 9 out of 10 girls, because obviously looks do matter to some extent. But I mean, it's not. You can't use that as an excuse. You cannot use that as an excuse. I can't go out and approach girls. It's just you just can't. There's really no excuse for every single guy that's watching right now to be out, approaching girls.
Yeah, that's it. If you'd like to have a similar experience to Mr. Bond here, then get in touch. The contact details will be below, either with myself or Ed or both of us. So we're going to be spending a lot of time teaching together. And always a pleasure, guys. Any questions or comments, leave them below.
Got so much cake, damn I sold so much weight. I'm in bed with 2 girls that'll go both ways. Cold days.